Hey everyone, and welcome to Black Sewing Network's Sunday service, um, where I will be doing our live today. Thank you for the grace for a evening service today, as it is Mother's Day. Want to spend a little time, out doing some things. But today we will be doing my pattern, which is KnowMe 2113. We'll be doing UC, which are the pants. Which I have actually up on the screen because we get fancy and such. So welcome in. Hey Will, how are you today? I'm also over on Twitch, so thank you so much everyone who is joining me today as we are starting to sew. Giving everybody a little few minutes to get in, and I will introduce y'all to my new machine that I'm using today, and the fabric and stuff that I'm using. So how's everyone Sunday doing? Again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, the aunties, the grandmothers, the mother figures, the godmothers, just that feminine nourishing energy that is full of strength and power that we need to continue to make the world go right. But Lord knows it feels like we need a little bit more of it lately. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to continue to pray. Hey. Again, everyone, welcome in to Sunday service today. But it's later in the evening. So, we're going for a quieter, cool, calm down mood, but still going to have a good time today. So, again, I am doing the pattern which is up on in the screen, which is KnowMe 2113. I am doing UC. This is my pattern. So, this was my last KnowMe release. And while I did the shirt, I have not done the pants. And what's great about the pants is that they are they have a self buckle as part of the pants. Now, do I have the buckle here with me right now? I have a buckle, but it ain't the one I want to use. And my goal is to get to as much to you seeing how the pants kind of come together as possible today. Hey everyone, my audio's a little bit spotty. Hold on. I do have. Now, where are they? I do have I do have a pair of headphones. Where are said headphones? I have no clue. I'll be 100% honest with you. I just saw them the other day. But then we put this machine on the table, and that just moves everything. So give me a second, and I will go find where my headphones are. Because I literally have no clue where they are. Or my microphones. This is what happens when you have too much stuff like on your desk. There you go. My bad. I'm still here, y'all. Hey everyone, welcome in. You know what? We might just have to go with the flow. And I do have a headphone in to hear my audio, and it sounds fine to me. But if it continues, definitely let me know if it sounds crazy. I am using just the audio from. Is that better? So yeah, I switched to the audio from the webcam itself. But again, hello everyone. Welcome. We are doing KnowMe 2113. I'm using fabric from my stash. So this is a stretch denim. With these pants kind of being a slimmer leg, I thought this would be a nice little contrast. Today, I've gone ahead and searched all my pieces. I used my Burnett B68 and a 4-thread overlock just to search all of my pieces so that we can see here. There you go. So everything is already serged. And I've started to go ahead and do my back welts. pockets. So I've already done one, which is 1, 2, 3. So we have one woke pocket already done. Lord Jesus, there we go. Yes, better. Okay, much better. Perfect. Yep, Shishi, they put you under the bus. So we've already done one of my welt pockets. The machine that I'm using today is the newest to the herd, which is my Burnett B08. So this is a semi-industrial straight stitch. It does upwards of 1,600 stitches per minute. It uses industrial needles as well as an industrial size bobbin. I'm using Wawak Performance X huge spool of like my thread spool. Let me show y'all. It's this big. It's huge. But it's perfect for this size of thread. It can go at the speed and stuff like that. Now it is a bit different because I am using a stretch fabric, but overall it can work. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to finish up this last welt pocket. So when I do my welts, especially like in a stretch fabric, I will show y'all this now because I like to call this some of my prep pieces. So I have not done the fronts yet, but my prep pieces are things that I can go ahead and get done. So I've already did like my back darts because of course there are darts on either side for shaping, and started working on my welts. No ma'am. No ma'am, that's not how this works. Because especially now that I'm in an upstairs space for sewing, this is the perfect, more compatible, more portable way that I can still use and still get the power of my industrial machine that is in my downstairs space. So I'm in a bedroom now where before I was in a room in my basement, which was like around 17 by 13. This bedroom is probably about 11 by 11. But it's nice to be in the light and not be in the basement all the time. So I am, how y'all up here hogging my machine? How is this possible? But yeah, so this just arrived this week. This is a gift from Bernina and Burnett for some work that I've done that comes out soon. But what is great is that, of course, let me back this up a little bit so that you can see a little bit more of it without turning everything. So I definitely love the black and the white together. Of course, we see that it has that regular Burnett interface, but it has your thread cutter. This is your stitch length over here, and like more of an industrial style reverse lever. It also has speed control. This button controls the bobbin winding, so it has an independent bobbin winder motor, as well as needle up down. So beyond that, the tension mechanism for this machine is very similar to you will find on a lot of different industrial machines. So it can use even like your heavier weight thread. So this is perfect for things such as like shoemaking and bag making and stuff like that. So it comes with an extension table. So to give you a little bit of an understanding of how big, child, me and this. So it does come with an extension table. It is a flatbed machine, so it does not have a free arm, but it does come with an extension table that I currently have on my table. Now, there are tables made for this if you want to drop it into a table. But for me, this is perfect because I can easily move it around and stuff like that. This will probably go behind me over to this side where I have my buttonhole machine and come out as I need it. So, all right. So that's enough of my explanation and all this stuff. Let's go ahead and get started in making the pants. So again, I have already started working on my back welt. I went ahead and put the pieces together. Now, what you will see here is that I have more pieces than most others. I am doing what is called a pocket stay. That is a piece of interfacing. A lot of times, these patterns will tell you to go ahead and place interfacing first and then sew in your welt. I like to go ahead and cut a piece of like woven interfacing and sew it along with the pocket piece with right sides together. So the way it is that you have your main fabric, then I have my pocket right sides with the main fabric, and then I have um, the pocket stay or that piece of interfacing with glue side out. And sew everything and sew my square that way. So that basically when I go ahead and press this down, it's going to go ahead and fuse, but it gives me a really nice clean pocket edge and it glues in all the pieces. I find that especially on fabrics like that are knit or have that bit of stretch, this just provides a stability that you would need to make a good welt. So let me go ahead and press this. For pressing today, I'm using my Laura Star Smart Eye Iron. I love the heat that this provides while still being fail proof because it only has one temperature. So I'll be right back. But talk amongst yourself. Make sure you go ahead and introduce yourself. Make sure you ain't coming into the space without saying hey to everybody. And again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, the aunties, the grandmothers, the godmothers, the fairy godmothers, the teachers, just the feminine energy that provides nurturing that people need, both soft as well as tough love as needed, that helps the world go around. Without it, Lord knows where we would be. But sometimes, let's be real, men are trash. Now, people are trash, opportunity, sometimes women are trash too. But you hear it a lot less. Praise the Lord. So I hope all the mothers and stuff had a really nice Sunday, a really nice Mother's Day. For all those who are dealing with struggles and challenges today due to either loss or longing to be mothers, and that just did not work out and stuff like that. We offer prayers of peace and comfort as you navigate days like this. Or even those who do not have the relationship that they might long for with their parents or with their mother. We again pray for your comfort today. Okay. So now, okay. All right, so now I went ahead and did my first line of stitching and pressed down my interfacing on the inside. So all of that is kind of already pressed in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my pocket upside so that I can do a line of stitching along the bottom edge of the pocket to secure where I'm going to place that welt. Now, some industrial, what they will do, or some in some factory settings, they will do some understitching here, pressing this down to the fabric of the welt. I'm just going to top stitch it because that's how I did it on the other side. Now, what I will say is that, especially with this style of fabric on this machine, a walking foot would be handy, and they do make walking foots available for this machine as well. So as you can see, this machine does run like butter, which is nice and lovely. Okay. And it does have the thread cutter. And of course, sometimes the thread cutter ain't you just got to go in and do final clipping and whatnot. So now I will go ahead and do this with my pocket. And that places that welt in place. And we're going to give this a press again. And I also have from LWS Trims, I do have my long hardwood pressing stick. So just to provide a good amount of pressure to also absorb some of that moisture and help to really set the press. I'll use that as well. One of those things in my sewing arsenal that I always keep near my ironing station. And one of the first things that came upstairs when I moved up here. Okay. So now we're going to just do another line of stitching, kind of putting that all in place. Now this one, I am probably going to go ahead and stitch right in the ditch there. There we go. So what's great about this machine, of course, is that, of course, it has like your regular knee lift. So that is one of the first things that I go with. And it has an extra large foot pedal. So let me show you what that looks like. Child, if I don't drop it. So this is the size of the foot pedal. And what's great is that there is an additional accessory foot pedal that you can add here. And when adding that foot pedal to this, it actually go ahead and you can use foot operated to cut your threads. So, separately, so like when you get this machine, if you just get the machine itself, it comes with 2 feet. So it comes with your main high shank foot. It also comes with this little foot, which is a lot of times perfect for some edge stitching as well as for zippers, which is very, very tiny. But not always great for when you're trying to get like move the fabric with the use of the feed dogs. So it is good for like zippers and stuff. It's not like your main sewing, it will not be your main sewing foot usually. There are other feet available for this machine though as well, such as you have like your leather foot and stuff like that. So definitely something to check out. What's also great is that if let's say that you do have an industrial machine and just want to use the feet that your industrial machine has, it also can use those as well, including your different top stitching and compensating feet. There you go. All right, so I went ahead and just did a line of stitching just to sew in my welt there. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to take my pocket and hold it up in place. And I like to, so the way I do my pocket is that I always make sure that my pocket always comes up to the top edge. This is what's giving your pocket so that your pocket is not fully weighing down in your pants. So I always put my pocket all the way up to the top. And now we will go ahead and do that. And, you know, I always take a moment, look at everything again, realign all my fabrics. This is also what's helping to make sure, like, you know, sometimes we get those pockets that like to smile at us or look like they comedy and tragedy, depending on where you're looking at. So this is an easy way that you can make sure that that's not happening. So now what I'm also going to do before I sew down, some people will go ahead and like push this back and sew down those little triangle corners. But because I did the pocket stay, I don't have those. So I do top stitching all the way around the pocket. So we're going to go ahead and do that here as well. I'm just going to sink down my okay. But I hope everyone's having a good weekend. I'll be 100% honest with you. Mine has been mentally heavy. Because why burnout is real and mental health is real. And in many ways, I need to make some changes. Just like career-wise and stuff like that. I need to make some changes, period. So definitely have been doing the work to figure that out this weekend. Because I think it's crazy when you ask God for something and you get mad when you start to feel uncomfortable in your current situations. when that is not aligned with what you ask God for. So definitely expect to see more Julian Creates coming in the future. It's time. That's all I can say. It's time. Okay, so I went ahead and did that top stitching on my pocket. So what I'm now going to do is just put my pocket to the side, and we are going to sew up the pocket here, and that will encase everything. So we're going to turn down my stitch length. There we go. And thank you all for joining me today. Hold on, oh, I did my stitch a little too small. This goes up to like 6 millimeters stitch width. And I don't have it fully turned up, so hence why. But it could definitely go faster than what I currently have it turned up as. But for me, like even on my industrial, which could technically go up to like 5,000 stitches per minute, I never fully utilize that. I'm a good, like, give me a good 2,000 stitches per minute. And I never even fully use that. So around 600 stitches per minute is really what I would call the sweet spot. There you go. Oh, I forgot I had longer threads. All right, so we have this pocket kind of already sewn together and done. Nice pocket done. So now I'm about to go ahead and do a lot of top stitching along the top, and then we'll start working on our fronts. And again, because we are later today, and you know, I do still got a regular 9 to 5, we ain't gonna be on here all evening. But my goal is for you to see what this looks like, kind of when it's ready to try on. So, she is really quiet. She is a really quiet machine, definitely a lot quieter than a lot of your other like industrials and different things like that. What is great about this machine is also too is that, like, I know a lot of people go for the Juki TL, which I also own. This is stronger than that. Okay. So not only is it stronger just in its construction, it also goes faster. It also uses, so its bobbins and stuff are specifically done. Like you can't, this uses a class L bobbin, which is like an industrial bobbin. And it is a metal one that's coated because of the speed of this, it gets hot. And this goes a little bit faster than that Juki. And it just has a little bit more of a robust internals and different things like that. Whereas the Juki does have where you can turn down your feed dogs. This one has places you can put over top of that to do that, but it has less moving parts, which allows for the speed to kind of really be ramped up. Of course, it has your bobbin pressure or your presser foot pressure and everything like that. And the cutter, like it has everything that I would want in a industrial style machine that I really don't need another one for a while. So, all right, so we did that. Let me grab the instructions. Let me see where I'm supposed to be at. Y'all, if I didn't have my head connected to me, what's funny is I literally brought everything in here when I brought this here. So that's there. I have that. We're just gonna start throwing stuff around and see what's up. So we have our pocket pieces. I see my front. I see my two backs and my other front. Where are my instructions? Oh, here they are. What's also great about this pattern is, like, if you know me and what I like to design, this is also based off of a vintage pattern. So this is a not John Lewis, but it's a vintage pattern that came out with McCall's back in the day, in the 70s, that they had this built in the pants. And when I saw that, I was like, that is neat. I'm always looking for things that provide just a bit of intricacy with your pants. So when I saw that, I was like, let's go for that. That is something different and unusual. And I really did enjoy that. All right. So what I am going to do is we're going to start by start working on the fronts. And yeah. So the first thing I need to do is start working on the pocket and the pocket facings. So we have our pocket pieces and this piece. Hey everyone, welcome in. Happy Sunday, happy Mother's Day. Our pocket facings. Now technically, because I'm doing self facings, I didn't need to do this. I could have basically went ahead and just used I could have just went ahead and kind of did this all, like put my interfacing to the back of this piece, but I had already cut it. I've already interfaced it. So we using it. Amen. Because what's great is like, again, I am really focusing on what's in my space right now. So we are using what we got. But as you know, as part of planning and stuff like that, if I'm really talking about being serious about focusing on Julian Creates and educating and sewing, I definitely want to use what I have as I try to start to pare down a bit. Not the sewing machines, probably, but like, other pieces, but things that will start becoming more available from me. Of course, I will be re-recording my demystifying button-up shirt class, probably to do both live as well as again to share. And that will be like evergreen for sale on my website, juliancreates.com. Then there will also be my demystifying pattern matching, demystifying pattern matching, demystifying sergers. There we go. And menswear in general, based on the men's size in the store. So no, a 42 waist is not, or 42 is not a 42 waist. So when you're buying men's patterns, it's actually measured by your chest pattern. So this basically uses suit sizing in the creation of these pattern pieces. So 42 is a 42 chest measurement. So that would be like a 30. If I'm a 38 chest measurement, like that's normally what I would make. 36, technically my chest measurement is 36, and that's like a 30-inch waist. 38 is a 32. So 42 is what, like a 36, maybe? So yeah, if you are thinking of like, if you want a 42 waist, you are looking at like a 48-50 is that measurement. Okay. What I'm going ahead and doing now is just marking on my pieces, all of my markings. Now, am I using permanent marker? I surely am. Should I? Probably not. But here we are. Luckily, a lot of this will be turned in just a second, because they want you to pin yoke. Oh, okay. So they want this to be right sides together. So now, especially if you are using a regular like pocket team, it would be like a lining fabric. So then none of this would really, all of this would be covered. But because I'm using same fabric, I am just gonna go ahead and do this, because here we are. Let me trim this off. So yeah, we have a plan. A plan is happening. But also, there comes a time that, when you're just tired and like, I can't do this no more. Or you almost basically go into a full anxiety attack at the thought of going to work. And 100% honest, that's where I am. The people I work with, they cool and everything like that, but I'm like, oh, I'm tired. I'm tired. So I am trying to be honest with myself and my body, because, you know, I could try to just muscle through everything, but that also does not work for me. So me being honest about it and being and kind of, you know, I've talked to some advisors in this process so they know what I'm about to do. Um, I have people who are excited and believing in me. That's also helpful. So we're gonna take it a day at a time. Now we ain't blowing up the spot and quitting jobs because we don't do that because bills are due. But also, um, overall, I think I work in a way that I have low overhead, in terms of like bills that like housing and stuff like that. I can make this work with just me. So, and I think that is the important, that's the blessing of it all, is that I have it where I can just, you know, live with, like, you know, even if I had to go pick up a little part-time or something like that, work a few hours a week or something, I can easily do that and be able to pay, like, you know, my mortgage. So what I've already went ahead and did was this is that facing piece. So when I sew this pocket on, this will be kind of in the middle between the two pieces. Now, if I were doing this with a pocket lining, there's also a piece that would go over on this side. But because I'm using all the same one, I am doing that. That's why I resigned early retired. Look, well, look, wish me luck because I'm trying to get like y'all. And it's not early, like, you know, I'm still gonna be working. It's just kind of, I need to work in my gifts. I'll put it that way. And you know, you write the vision, make it plain, and then God makes you uncomfortable until you actually align yourself with that. Like the universe listened to me a little too well before I was ready for it to listen to me. I'll put it that way. And it's like one of those things, like you get to the point where you are just so uncomfortable and like, I don't want to do this anymore till, like, you know, until change is like, it's an inevitable, like you're gonna have to make a change for yourself. And that's where I'm at. So that's just real. Okay. All right. So now both pockets, I've gone ahead and did sewing on my facing piece. So now what we're going to do is we're going to reinforce the corners of this, stitching along the same line each side of the small dot. So here, there's a small dot that I'm about to sew up 1/2 inch on this side and down 1/2 inch on this side on each other pocket pieces before we can install our fronts. So let me get that pocket piece as well, so I can go ahead and mark that. I am going to mark that on the back side of the pants. And, you know, and I think also just where the world is coming to lately, I'm like, if not now, then when? But then also too, what we doing all this for? I mean, honestly, because clearly I don't have the reason as to why we up here scratching and surviving doing all of this in a country that just kind of is saying F you in most ways on a daily basis. There you go. I don't know why my computer wants to keep on going to sleep, but and now my dog is up here looking at me like I'm crazy. When I took her out before I left out, Coco, go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Night night. It also doesn't help that I have the door open, so she's hearing my voice and like, you're not paying attention to me. So what is going on here? Okay. All right. So we have the first piece kind of already drawn on and done. Now I'm about to take my pocket piece. We're going to put this, it's actually going to be the other pocket piece, I think. We're going to put this right sides together. Yes, that one. And I like to again sew it from the back side. Well, actually, I forgot. Let me reinforce this. I just said that, didn't I? I just said that. So let's reinforce first, and then we will go ahead and do that. Okay. So I'm doing that 5/8 of an inch. All right. So look at that. And now, in doing that, I can now start working on attaching this piece. We're matching up our dots and our notches here, but mostly our notch. So everything should line up with this. There is a notch here, like on the, between the pocket facing and the pants front. Okay. And all the way up here as well. Match all of this up. Anybody else sewing this evening? And what are you sewing if you are? Let us know. Okay. Now, and again, now, because I'm using a stretch fabric, I'm having to be very cautious of how everything moves, because especially because I do not have like on a walking foot, things can easily bunch up. So especially like the way I'm holding my hands, like my hand is holding the fabric a little bit taller, just to make sure everything is aligned the way that I want it to align, and to provide a little bit more control, especially as we're starting to go up here to this piece right here. Stop at the dot. Are you working on your dress from the other day? Okay. How's it coming? Now we can drop this pin a little bit, just straighten everything out a little bit. And sometimes, let's say that you are not cautious of, or like you don't feel confident where it's at, feel free to stop it there, kind of realign everything, make sure everything is where you want it to be, and then just kind of reline everything up. It feels like my pocket is there. It is like my pocket was not aligned where I want it to be. And what I'm also using is I have my my normal seam gauge. So, and I got these off of the TikTok shop, and they came in a pack of 3. There you go. And then as this fabric goes, naturally you have to rework the gavels. Okay. So now that pocket is on, we are now going to go ahead and clip to that dot, not through that dot, and clip away some of this extra, because this is a lot of fabric there on both sides. Go. So now, what I'm also going to do before I go any further, because I forgot to do it, is we are going to easily just top stitch this pocket facing down so that it just don't roll out. And especially if you have ever been worried about using like an industrial machine or something like that, this is a good machine to start with. Like, because it can give you the power, but it still is in the form factor of your regular like machine, while still providing the space and stuff like that. It's basically like a vintage machine with a thread cutter with a little bit more power. So I'm going to give this a press. So now what I'm doing is I am just kind of, sometimes you got to place the, go ahead, like place the edge of everything where you want it to lay. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. I keep on looking this way because that's where my chats are, but y'all are this way. So yeah, here we go. So now all of that's in place. And now we're going to give this a top stitch down. We'll use like a 4-inch stitch length and top stitch this all together. And I'm using the edge of my foot kind of as to mark like where I want everything to like be. Like that is my guide for this. And whereas other, like, you know, if I were to do this on my regular domestic, this would be a little bit harder. As you can see, it really, even through, this is one, it's going through 1, 2, 3, like 6 layers of stretch denim right now. And a little bit of a pull here, just to make sure that it's doing what I want it to do. Okay. We're gonna go up like this. So a lot of times this is what, like, one of those machines that people will choose for bag making and stuff like that. Okay. All right. So as we can see here, we have now went ahead and top stitched that down. And now we can easily go ahead and just pull this off and sew this down. And that will close up our pocket. I'll turn down my stitch length again. Just sew that in my pocket. It don't sound like a construction site, does it? It is. It's really quiet. So this is again, um, part of the engineering and stuff like that that Burnett did in the creation of this machine is making sure that this is something like, you can use in your house. This is like, you don't want to always feel like you up in a factory. So it is a very nice, quiet, easy to use machine. And now what I'm about to do is just do a line of stitching just to stitch this all together. I'm doing this at like single allowance. And even as we come up to all of that bulk, there we go. All right, so we have one of our fronts done with our pocket. And now what I would do, of course, is give it another press. So we have one pocket done. So let's go ahead and do the other front real fast. And then we'll do our zipper and start working on the construction of we'll do the zipper, and then all we got to do is attaching fronts to back. And probably I will do a little bit of waistband, but again, I don't have all of my hardware, so I'm not going to get too much into that today. But definitely, this is a great machine to check out at your local Bernina or Burnett dealer. Definitely, these have been wildly popular. I do know people who normally sew on some of your like the main higher end machines are going to this because, especially for a lot of your straight stitch, a lot of your garment sewing, bag making, this kind of gives you what you need, especially if you do a lot of just basic straight stitching. But then also for a lot of our quilters are using these type of machines for piecing now. Because it is a good piecing machine that is fast. You can easily move this. Now, is this the lightest machine? No, but it is definitely movable. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and turn this down a bit. I'm going to go ahead and do this right here real fast. So we went ahead and did that. We can go ahead, and before I put this all together, I'm going to go ahead and top stitch this down, the inner edge of my pocket down. Luckily, I'm not really worried about this fabric frame, so it should be fine. But like, this is like one of those machines that it sews the way that I like to sew. And y'all heard me say that a lot. Especially working with so many different machine brands, I have come to, there are certain machines that just do what I want them to do when I want them to do it. And that is something that I find really, truly important for me. Like, this is a perfect machine for a lot of the type of sewing that I do, because I do a lot of garment making that are not knits. Now, could you definitely sew knits with this? Technically, you can. There requires a special technique in how you do it. But if you actually look at vintage sewing patterns for knits, it was not using a zigzag stitch most of the time. What they would have you do is they would have you hold the fabric in such a way that you were able to stretch it. So you would use a straight stitch, but you would build in the stretch. So you would kind of pull it a little bit, sew it with the straight stitch so that there was that movement in the stitch. So vintage like stretch and sew patterns and stuff like that, that is how they made their patterns. But you know, nowadays most of us are used to just going ahead and using some type of regular. We'll do this from the other side. That'll be easier to see. We use some type of regular, like zigzag stitch or your serger, and that's what I mostly now will use for knits. But especially if I'm doing a lot of my regular, like a button-up shirt or something like that. This is all I would really need beyond probably doing some of the cleaning up seams, because a lot of times I do use a combo stitch for that. But a lot of like my collars, cuffs, a lot of my woven pants and stuff like that could easily be done with this machine. And because like this machine is also set up for if I just wanted to do it with what's it called? Using like I can do something very lightweight or I can do something very heavyweight. And like, you know, it provides like you can get the leather roller foot, you can get all the other different accoutrements for this machine to really have the sky's the limit. They have 2 kits already available of different like accessories and feet for this machine. One is called the DIY kit. So that would include like your roller foot, that would include your invisible zipper foot and stuff like that. You also have your quilting series. So that includes some other straight shape feet, some other compensated feet, and different things like that, as well as your foot to do ruler work and different things like that in the plate so that it will make your bead dogs go down. So with stretch thread, that would also be, that is more of a modern use. You could definitely use stretch thread in this without problem. I have not tried it. So me and stretch thread, I don't know. I can't say that we are the best of friends. And I think I just have not used it enough to really like get a hang of it and utilize it. But I do know that a lot of people love it, and you could use that in an industrial. A lot of times, if you have the large enough thread holder for it, you would probably just have to turn down your attention for it. So I'm just going ahead and cutting away on the bulk here. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and, as we did to the other side, I'm going to go in a little bit more here. There we go. We'll just turn that all in like that. So let me go ahead and give this a press real fast. Again, as y'all can tell, I'm not afraid to use steam in my machine or in my iron. And because this is Lord Star has that microfine mist steam that does not burn really until it touches the fabric. So it allows me a little bit more flavor as I'm sewing. Right. Okay, so we have this side also sewn down, so we're going to turn this back up to about 4, and we're going to top stitch this. Again, I'm just using the edge of my foot. So this is about at 1/4 of an inch line up top stitching across the front. And you gotta love when it just basically, it just goes through the fabric. Side's done. So now what we're going to do is turn stitch length back down. I'm going to fold my pocket into place. I'm going to start from the back. Sew my pocket up. Then, so that's in place like that. I'm going to go ahead and base that down, and then also base down this front piece on the side. And I'm not really fully paying attention to where I'm basting it, just that it based down, you know? As you can still see, and even through where I've already top stitched, it easily is easily able to go through that. There you go. Okay, basted, and then right here, just base this as well. Okay. All right. So we have our pockets in on both our pieces. So we have 4 pockets into the pants already. So let's go ahead and start working on the zipper. Now, of course, I am going to go ahead and mark, making sure I know where my notches and everything are on my zipper or on my front piece. Because that's important. And it kind of tells me where I need to sew everything at. So we're just doing this from the back. So I know where all of my little front marks are. And then go ahead and make a notch here. Okay, my piece. And while I'm here, we're going to go ahead and make sure that this notch is marked as well. Because, child, we have forgotten some of these. It feels like I forgot to do all of the notches on the front piece. Okay. So that's this one. Other one. That's back. This front piece. So since it's Mother's Day, did anybody get a good meal? Get a good meal today? Did the men of your life or somebody, did your children cook for you? Or did they take you out? It's funny, I was watching, there's a, what's her name? EJ Speaks. And she was talking, she does like the mama videos. And she said, Tanitra asked me if I want to go out to Olive Garden, and I was talking about how they ain't got no dressing. You know, she wanted Thanksgiving food. No, I told her I just cook for myself. Y'all can come on over. Cause you know how some mamas love them. Love them. I swear I do. But you know, they gonna want a certain menu. Um, so I went to church and stuff today, and then my mama was one of them mamas that growing up, she didn't go to church on Mother's Day or Easter. She's like, those for the heathens. She ain't go to church. But she was in church today, so I was able to spend some time. Hello, hey, welcome in. With her there, she has started to develop osteoarthritis in her knee. So she is, you know, navigating that and not being able to move at the same speed of light that she was once able to. And you know, as people age and stuff like that, that level of immortality becomes real for them. So, notch. Okay. So we're gonna match up our notches here. And we're gonna start sewing from on the pants pattern from our large dot, which is right there. So there's a large dot there on down to this notch. But to do that, I like to go ahead and mark both of my notches on both sides, or like all the notches, so that I can easily see where they all are. And then we can easily start to sew this down. And because I know I marked one of the notches, we're going to make sure that both are marked real fast, real quick. Also, in the comments, please share, do you have any like, you know, new places that you're looking to get patterns from now that, you know, our daily, like our fixed spot of Joann's is no longer there. Definitely, like my patterns are still available on simplicity.com and different things like that. And I appreciate all who have purchased patterns and stuff like that. But where else? Like, are you tempted to try new patterns now that, you know, the idea of just having Big Five and stuff like that is not looking the way they used to look? Or there's some new pattern companies and stuff that you're looking to check out. I'm excited because one of my first indie patterns that I've designed will be coming out next month in June. And it will be getting a whole launch. I'm working with a company for that. So, and it will be free, which will be great. So definitely get to see some of the ideas that are in my head and everything like that for free, which is great. So we went ahead and did that between the notches, between the notch and the large dots. That's already sewn together. And now, so then turn right front, opening along fold edge and press. All right, so we're going to go ahead and turn in this right front opening. And that is, this right front opening is going to be pressed back 3/8 of an inch. So let me go ahead and do that on this side. And once you've done zippers and stuff, I know some people, zippers is not their favorite thing. But really, overall, it is not a arduous task. Overall, it gets easier with time. Just take your time as you're doing it. I want to check to make sure. Yep, we are at 3/8 of an inch on this side. So let me take this over. I'm definitely looking to do more luteral patterns. And also, I plan to draft a lot more of my own, especially again after my my look for Atlanta Cocktails in the Met Gala. The idea of dandyism and really leaning into that, leaning into a more tailored silhouette, truly appeals to me. So, definitely, that is kind of the direction that I'm wanting to lean towards. All right. So we went ahead and folded in our right side of our pants. So we're going to put those down here. So now they want me to right side, play zipper face up, under right front opening, having teeth press. Press close edge to zipper teeth, base, close to press edge. Right opening. Interesting. Why are you doing that side first? The right side. Oh, I forgot. This is how they like to do it. Okay. So whereas a lot of other pants companies do this the other way around, where you start on your left front and then you work to your right. This pattern and a lot of your KnowMe patterns and stuff like that have moved to the other way around. Sometimes I think partially because you see that in some other like women's brands and stuff like that, but it works. It definitely does work. It's definitely not going to be an issue or anything like that. So this is my right side piece. And this is for my left. Okay. One thing I do need to make sure to do before getting too far is I am going to go ahead and serge my left fly facing real fast. I'm just using a 4th thread. So let me do that real quick. I'll be right back. And you know, I'm just over here in the corner. Okay. So yeah, just went ahead and did a quick serging of that. My bad. Oh, feet. There we go. So now I brought up a zipper. Just had it. What did I do with said zipper? When I tell y'all lately, if it is not attached to my head, I don't know where anything's going. I really don't. So give me a second to find where my zipper might have gone to. And it's a pretty blue. So let's find my zipper. Have people gone to go see Sinners and everything yet? If so, what do you think of it? I'm curious. Now, I will be like most people who know me know. Here it is. I struggle sitting still, especially in places like a movie theater. That is the idea of going to the movies is one way to make me feel like to ask me to sit still and stuff like that. My anxiety, I like literally have not really gone to see a movie in a long time. Like last one was Color Purple, and I had to work myself up to go see it. And I have not worked myself up to go see Sinners. I'm basically like I don't even sit down to watch shows at home. I'm one of those people who like I have multiple things going at once. So there could be the TV on. It could be like a TV. You might have music. I might be looking at TikToks all at one time. So to sit down and pay attention, yeah, maybe that's why work is becoming more of a drudgery. Because when I tell you the way this ADD is set up in my body lately, it has been a mess. But yeah, so struggle. But I do want to go support, and I swear there's a little bit of FOMO to me. But again, not enough to have me sit down to go watch that movie. I'll be 100% honest with you. But it looks interesting. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. Okay. And also, if you have any other questions about the Burnett line of machines, because technically now, literally, all of my main machines that I'm using are Burnett. While, like, of course, I'm a diehard Bernina person as well. You've seen it twice, all right. The reason I am really feeling like switching over more to Burnett is it's more accessible for what you get for the price. I think that is a good value. So, like, even with my B79, with its integrated dual feed, with its Bernina software interface, it can do 10x6 embroidery. You have about 9 inches to the right of the needle. For the price, you can get that machine for upwards of like less than $2,000. To get something comparable under Bernina itself, you are looking at 4 or 5. Plus, you don't have to go when you get a Bernina. Of course, you have all of the accoutrement that goes with it, including your feet, including your bobbins and everything like that. It uses a class 15 bobbin and stuff like that. There's just an ease of use to it as a machine that I really enjoy. So, especially if you are thinking about really getting a new machine, especially like, right now there is still like that normal regular stock of stuff in store. So we're just going to base the zipper in place on this side. So it might be very beneficial to go ahead and give that machine, like to give these machines a look, especially while the sales are still going on, before we have to start really importing machines in, So it's good to go ahead and start picking up machines that you can get now. Because again, a lot of our small businesses and stuff are already starting to see the effects of tariffs. What's interesting is that I've ordered glasses. I love to order me some glasses from different companies. And a lot of times they do come from China. So I'm wondering, honestly, how is that going to affect some of my purchases? So, all right. And just to kind of give you an understanding of how large the stitches can go. So this is a 6mm basting stitch, or stitch that I can use at a 6mm to easily go through my fabric. I'll turn this down again. All right, so we did that. So let's go ahead and start working on the other pieces of my zipper ply facing, so that I can then truly put that all together. And this is a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. So I'll put this right sides together. And, unstitch right fly turn. Okay. So again, one of the things that I probably am going to add to this machine is a quick change release screw. I have that on my industrial downstairs. So basically, instead of me having to use a screwdriver to release my feet, I can just push the button. Another person who uses that a lot, Nikki of Bad Girly Brunch, she also uses one of those as well. These are the perfect high check machines to use that with, in my opinion. What is your process for KnowMe? You give a design and they write up the instructions for you? Yes. So that is the process. I submit a design. They then send me back a digital proof. They then make a mock-up of it. They then send it to me with some very bare bones instructions of how they put it together. I then make the final sample that would then go into becoming the print ad and stuff like that. When they send that to me, I have like 8 days. 8 days to put it together. So that includes any like muslins or anything that I might have to do. But then I have another 4 days to get final images. So then once that's done, we don't see the final instructions. Like we can give them edits like, hey, this doesn't work or anything like that. That comes, we really experience like all of those finals when we get the final pattern. So that's why sometimes if you notice from our sew-alongs do not always match the pattern themselves. Because like the pattern instructions, the way that they are done is there's a library of illustrations that they work from in creating the pattern instructions. So it's hard for them to like totally create new. But then also too, you got to realize that they're putting out upwards of 500-600 patterns per year. So to have custom pattern instructions for each one is really crazy, you know? So now they would have me understitch this. I'm just gonna top stitch it because that's where I'm at. That's what I want to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do a line of top stitching for this. Now I can go ahead and we're just going to base this in place. Definitely, there have definitely been some learnings throughout the process. I am grateful for the visibility and everything like that. So definitely able to do something that not everybody is able to say that they have been able to. So for that, I am truly grateful for that. It's open, definitely, you know, doors that it has opened. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and sandwich our zipper, and with our right facing, we've got a pin here and all the way down. Okay. And I think this pattern requires a 7-inch zipper. I used a longer zipper, so I'm going to be trimming off some. And I'd rather have a bit of a shorter zipper here so that I can then have a little bit more room to, what I'm looking for, do some top stitching or something like that and not hit the metal bar of my zipper. So sometimes I'm very conscious of how I put my zipper in for that reason. So we're going to go back to our narrow fit. 30. All right, so we should get the zipper done, and my hope is at least the side seams, and then maybe a bit of the waistband, so that y'all can see how these pants come together. I'm still trying to decide how I want to do the buckle, but when I do the buckle, I will definitely share that as well, probably sometime this week. All right, so let's. There we go. And we're going to go at a little bit less than a 4, because we're trying to fully like hold this in place and construct the pants together. I'm going to lock this in place. There we go. But one thing I can say is that this machine reminds me of why I like industrials, or even my vintage machines, because it just goes, it just works, you know? And like one of those things, you could throw things at it and it just goes. And that's so lovely to have. Like, you don't realize how much of a benefit that can be. And then adding in the ease of being able to like top stitch and everything like that as well. It's a lovely thing, you know. So now what we're gonna do is I do have one of my, it's a pin, probably. Yeah, I think I can do it with a pin. Find our basting. Pull out our basting thread, even though like they are literally right next to each other. But it's just easier if I can start pulling this out. So that's gonna be a later project, so we ain't doing it right now. But pull out your basting thread. After you top stitch that, how many dandy books? So I already had a pretty nice size collection. I'm currently waiting for the actual catalog from the exhibit to arrive. So that's going to be one that's being added to my collection. So you have the catalog. I also have Slaves to Fashion. So the book that kind of was written, like that the exhibit is made off of. I have that in my collection, both digitally as well as now a hard copy. I remember doing in high school, we had to do these things called as part of our English class, like a final collection of readings and stuff like that. And I did one on dandyism previously. So I've known a lot about dandyism, Beau Brummel and stuff like that. And now really focusing in on the sartorial, like just sartorial fashion and sartorial language more, which I'm finding fascinating. And you know, it just really enlivened like wanting to focus more on the tailoring aspect of clothing. Okay, so now what I'm doing is we're going to start focusing on putting in the back or the left side of the zipper. Of course, I just made a mark on the wrong side. So there we go. That's the left facing. Make sure. Left facing. Under stitch. Turn it to the back. Add that side of it. Keep them right free. Okay. Cut the rest of that off. All right. And the backs are already done. So all we got to do is start putting on all the other pieces. Bespoke in terms of like me launching a bespoke line of like a collection. My thing, my dream is to still teach. So people have definitely been asking for kind of like how I did with my look for Atlanta Frocktails. So I think I really want to focus more on that and demystifying some of the aspects of tailoring. Now, is my coat bespoke? No. But I did use like Sewning interfacing and stuff like that. And it is like through some speed tailoring techniques as well as through some like the past stitching and stuff like that. That's all machine based. But you also, there's like, you know, so it's more of a hybrid in terms of that because I did not do a lot of the hand pass stitching and stuff like that. Now, that is an option if you want to go that way. But I know that if I did, like, to try to like, I don't want perfection to be the enemy of the good and the joy that I find in sewing. And I think for some people, there are some purists out here that like, you know, if you don't do it that way for men's fashion, it's not right. And you know, I think that's a fallacy. I think that people need to know that, you know, whatever's going to make you happy in your sewing journey and how you decide to do it is what's important. So I would love to teach some ways that I was able to create this jacket and probably will plan to create more. And teach people how they can do some different bespoke sartorial looks. And even would love to, like one of my goals is I would love to write a book that really utilized men's blocks, like slopers and stuff like that, and how you can utilize that concept, which you mostly see in women's wear, and doing hey everyone, welcome. Utilizing that and how you are able to create menswear. But you know, again, I have some thoughts going in my head currently. Definitely some thoughts going in my head of what I want to do. What is my next iteration of life? Because what I'm doing right now is not fully it. And is not, as Marie Kondo would say, sparking joy. I'm not feeling joy-filled as I get ready for it tomorrow. So honestly, when I tell y'all this is a welcome distraction from a ruminator. Okay. So thank y'all for coming and joining me as I distract my mind. How about that? There we go. So we've done the other side of our zipper. So now we're going to go ahead and give this a press real fast. All right. So that like that. So now what you're going to do, so now they are being sold on simplicity.com. That's going to be the probably easiest place that you can buy them. You can also buy them on, I think it's So Direct, if you're in other countries, but Simplicity for right now will be the easiest place to purchase them. And if your store is still open, not this like, so this pattern that I'm doing today, which is my last one, never made it to Joann's, but has been available on simplicity.com. What's funny is that if you looked at the last, the pattern launch that this was in for McCall's, it never even made the lookbook. So you have to know what to look for on the website to find my pattern. But you know, it happens. It happens. So now what I wanted to do is I want to make sure that everything is going to lay as it needs to. Okay. There you go. I'm going to just throw a pin right here at the top. What some other people would do is normally they might do a line of basting stitches just to base that all in place, but I at least just want to make sure that it is properly aligned in one or two spots. And we're just, what this is called is kind of pin basting, and I'm literally just kind of going through making sure that this is all lined up. There you go. Yep. Cool. Yep. Like that, and then one more right here. There you go. Yep. Do that like that. So what's up next for me in terms of like patterns or what? I don't know. Beyond, I do have some indie patterns coming out. That's next. But then outside of, so definitely more indie patterns, definitely more, probably within the next few weeks, I will be doing my my demystifying button-up shirt again class, but for it will be fully pre-recorded for sale. So those are some of the things that are coming up next, and definitely expecting more of those styles of classes. And definitely we'll be making a menu of availability for like one-on-one services, doing a lot more teaching with some of the things that I'm definitely thinking of for me. But and a lot more indie patterns. So probably will still do KnowMe, but also we'll be offering some indie patterns as well. With different levels of education and teaching as part of that. All right, so we went ahead and added that side. So we're gonna check to make sure everything lines up right, and then we will do some top stitching down the front. All right. There we go. There we go. All right, so we have our zippers that work, and we're about to put this in place, and I will top stitch this down on this side. This is what it looks like from the front. There we go. Okay. All right, so before we go too far, we are going to go ahead and do this side here, making sure that this is kind of top stitched down. And then I will go ahead and start working on, I'll move this out the way and cut off some of this extra fabric like that. Okay. And I will definitely sew down this other side. But yeah, definitely as I will be sharing a lot more on all of my platforms when I start releasing. If you have not noticed, I did do another YouTube video sharing my purchases and stuff that I got while I was in Atlanta as well as in Switzerland. So that is not available on my channel. But if you also just want to see some of my other like makes and whatnot, those are also available. I'm going to be posting my unboxing video that did not make it to the channel before I came on today, but I did record a video of that. And I do plan to make a video of all of my upcoming makes. So like, I've coined this month, this is my make plans, make sewing plans May instead of me May May. So yeah, I am Julian Creates on all platforms. So please make sure to follow me. I'm literally almost at 1,000 followers on YouTube. So please feel free to share it as I try to get my follower count up. I really appreciate it. So now what we're gonna do, where's my ruler? Because honey, that is less straight than me. That is saying something. So no, so I went live showing the unboxing on Instagram while I recorded it for YouTube. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to post it on my YouTube. But then I did like the my shopping video and stuff like that. That is already on my YouTube. So, you know, definitely just trying to further utilize all of my channels. But I am Julian Creates on all platforms, which is helpful. So literally, you can't miss me. That was always my goal, is to own that. Not as just like, you know, out here. It's a cute name, but also it's a declaration. You watch the fabric all perfect. Well, I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. And like literally, I'm looking at all the fabric behind me. I need to go ahead and start putting that in the washer machine so I can start getting that all washed. Because I see some polos in my picture, you know, because as especially summer weather, if y'all didn't know me, I love a good polo. So I'm going to back up a little bit. Let's see if I can get this all the way down in there. Well, actually, back up. Stitch. I'll cut it there. I'm going to put that all the way down like that. And we're going to just go right back into this. Okay. Okay. Just going to turn it. I'll rub out the rest of this like that. And well, we have a good pocket that is also connected. So this is all my zipper pocket and everything. So that's all done. So now we can start attaching everything together. What I am about to go do is let me take my dog out because she is losing her mind, and then I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Come on. And of course, you would think that it is Mardi Gras, something outside of my house, by how loud they got the music. You can tell it's warmer outside because the peoples is out. And my dog has ADD worse than me. So she is probably, oh, I can hear her barking. So she out there barking, but she's fine. I have a small dog and a fully fenced yard. So, but probably people are out in front of the house. So, because she's by the gate, I can hear her. But just give me at least a few minutes to get this together. Okay. All right. So we have our fronts. One thing I did forget to do is I'm going to go ahead and base this pocket side in place real fast. There you go. Okay, so we have our pockets, we have our fronts. Now we're going to trim. Just a little bit of thread. Okay. So here we go. So our fronts are done. Probably need to go a little press and cut all of this away. You know, full front done. Now, let's add our backs. So now, how do they want you to do it? So they want you to start at pin front, inner legs, start at the inner legs and work our way up, and then do outer legs. Okay, easy enough. So right sides together. Inner legs. I think inches there. I cut inches here. Yes, it is perfect. So now we're gonna do and I'm gonna sew these bottom up. And then what I will do is I will get the legs sewn on. It's funny. Once you do the pockets, the reason I like to do the pockets first is when you do the pockets and the darts on the back first, and then you do the pockets and zipper on the front, everything just seems to go a lot faster to me. This is my own belief, I guess you can call it. It just seems to make my process go faster. Because, you know, we don't always do pants and stuff on Sunday service. But overall, if you give it a little bit of time, it doesn't take that long. Because, you know, I've been on for it, it ain't even been 2 hours yet. And we are about to see pretty much the pants in real time. Now, I'm letting y'all know now. Is it gonna be fully pressed? Nope. No. Not today. But before y'all see it in like a picture or something like that, it will be, praise the Lord. So this is much a do what I say, not as do as I say, not as I do moment. Y'all know the press. With this, because I've already finished like my seams and stuff like that, I will be pressing my seams open. Just because that is basically how I have this already kind of ready to go. So let's really try this at speed. Make sure my speed is all the way up. And because this is like just a straight seam, we can give it that speed and power as we start to sew these all the way up. Now, it does start to sound like a construction site. Hey, hey, how are you? When you get to this place and stuff like that, because it does sound like, you know, a little bit more piercing power is used. But if this scares you at this speed, what's great about this machine is that you can turn it down. It was a time. Atlanta Frock Sales was a time I enjoyed myself. I really did. But next year, and what's great about next year is that, you know, it is about reduce, reuse, refashion. Wear stuff that's already in your closet. Like, you know, because sometimes, like, I use this as an opportunity to try, like, you know, this is my opportunity to really test myself, but you ain't got to do all of that. So I'm trying to figure out what can I refashion in my closet or something like that, or what are some, like, I have some projects that I never finished. I have a lot of projects that do not fit any longer that I now can feel like I can go ahead and do some refashioning too. Actually, one of the pieces that I have that I've never done anything with is my first blazer, which is Osandra Rhodes fabric, that I would love to try to refashion into something that I can wear. Because at the time, I think I made it in a size like 48 chest, and I'm now a 30, like 36 chest. So it's crazy because, you know, I was looking at pictures from like my first practice, which was New York. And I had already started losing weight. So I think I had made like a 44 there to like last year when I went to Atlanta Frock Tales, and I'm about at the size I am now. And if you look at pictures of even like me and Aronica, so we do Frock Tales together essentially. From my first Frock Tales in New York to now, vastly different, you know, vastly. For both of us, because, you know, we both almost have lost, like, I've lost like 80 some pounds. I think she's close to 100 now. So, and basically at least kept it off for me for about a year, which was one of those crazy things, especially even with you shop your closet, I refashion my clothes also. So me and thrift shopping, I struggle with thrifting. With fabric, like with fabric items, unless it's fur. I will buy fur, but like regular, like I will buy used fabric before I will buy used clothes. Something about it, it always makes my skin crawl. Don't ask. I don't judge other people who do it. I admire it. Sometimes I try, but usually those pieces never get worn. I remember somebody found me a beautiful Valentino men's blazer. Now it was too small, but it never got worn. It basically sits in my like I took it apart to understand how blazers go together. Then also found like a beautiful London fall wool overcoats and stuff like that. I think I did wear that at least once, but yeah, beyond that, I struggle. So like the idea of buying like shoes and stuff secondhand, ooh, nope, I struggle. I struggle hard. All right, so we did that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do. They want to do the fastenings first. No, they want you to do the back. Okay. So while I'm doing that, I can't wait. So let me go ahead and press these things open. I am going to use my sleeve ham. I find that allows me to get really close to where I want to do all of that, or do like keep my seams open. So just easily press them open. Press the seams open real quick. And if you have like a sleeve, not a sleeve board, but a seam roll, this is the perfect time to use it. A lot of times as we're like trying to press seams open, we struggle where we don't get it all the way fully open, and there's like, we lose a bit of the fabric. That is where that seam roll comes in handy, where it kind of makes the fabric roll over the edges on either side, helping to make sure that you're getting your seam open as flat as possible. That's another thing I'm interested in doing is I want to, like, you know, a line of notions and accessories. Now, how does that look in the age of tariffs? No telling. All right, so my seams are open there. Nice and open, just like that. It looks like from the other side. Nice and flat. You can see that. So now, what the pattern requires is that they want you to go ahead and work on your crotch seam. So we're going to match up our inner crotch seam here. We're going to place a pin, putting these two pieces together there, and then got my triple notch at the back seam. That's not the pin I want. This is it. Okay, and then all the way up to the back, making sure like your pockets and stuff are staying out the way. And we're going to start from that front notch, and so all of this to the back, and then I will go ahead and press this open as well. Before I do that, let me go check on this dog, because I can hear her being crazy. Go lay down. Now, she likes to open up doors, so, and I can already see her opening it up. Jesus. Okay, so now, from the notch that I sewed from the front, we're going to sew this all the way to the back. And then we're going to just press the seams open. If you really want something a little bit of a tighter seam, you can go ahead and turn down your stitch length a hair. So instead of doing like the 2.5, I'm going to go ahead and do mine's at 2, just for the strength of the seam. Sometimes here what they will have you do is they will have you stitch over it twice. So that's also an option as well. I'm just waiting about. I usually do not stitch my crotch seams twice, and I ain't had an issue. Knock on wood. I will say that. But when I tell you this machine sews like butter, but also this is like a stretched denim, so with like a regular size needle. Now, what I will say is that this is one of those machines like an industrial. This is a machine that does require some oiling, and the manual tells you the spots in course that you need to oil it at. Because I haven't even checked. I don't think this opens on the front, but there is a screw there if you need to do some oiling there or some cleaning and stuff like that. But definitely around the bottom hook at the bottom, it does require some oil. And they did give you some oil to go along. Okay. So now, crotch seam is done. We're going to go ahead and press this open real quick too. Okay. It's there. And especially as you get to the curve of the crotch, if you have like your pressing ham, put this over the pressing ham so that you can make sure that you're getting that curve pressed correctly, and not like putting any undue stress or anything like that. Wrinkles, especially around the head. Nobody wants to have a droopy crotch around the ass or adding undue wrinkles. Here, I have some, but I will press those out later. As we can see here, just so I can hold that up close, you can see that we got our crotch together. So now, I'm gonna do it like this. Sew up our side seams. And I'm gonna do this also from the bottom to the top. Okay. So I ain't put, when I tell you I ain't put a notch the first on the parts, Jesus. I'm up here putting this together blind as hell because there's not a notch on the front of these pants. There it is. And I'm like, I don't know. You know better. Now, there it is. I'm like, where's my front piece? Where's the notch? Oh, it's in the pocket. Okay. Throw that this way. Grab my pocket piece. And we're gonna just make sure everything lines up here. Yep. Okay. So yeah, it is good to press your seams open, especially like depending on the pair of pants and depending on the construction, because I had already like done the pre-finishing for these pants legs and stuff like that. To press them open made it easy for me. And then probably what I will do is I will, once these are done, I will go ahead and press this inner seam open as well. Oh, because this is a stretch denim. So yeah, This definitely is not like your regular rough and tumble. Like if I wanted to make these into jeggings almost, I could. Um, it really does have a buttery softness. If you are in the Atlanta area, definitely check out. I did not get. I don't actually know where I got this from. Honestly, I could not tell you. It was in the stash, but fabric, Fine Fabrics does have a good denim selection. Um, where I got my last bit of denim from, and I did buy some denim that has some stretch, but it's more like a traditional denim. But I definitely will be using this machine in making my next pair of pants in that denim as well. There you go. And I think this is one of the first times I really am using this Wawak thread, the Performance X like sewing thread, and this is not the Serger one. And this is not like a Tex 45 or anything crazy. It's like a regular Tex 30, which is like your normal everyday thread. I definitely like this. So, oh yeah, you need to get something lightweight. Definitely. Depending on where are you going, because that also plays a part. You might be able to get away with something a little bit warmer. But also, I mean, shoot, if you really want to go for full aeration, you can make a whole like make a pair of jeans or like jean styles with oh, you in Atlanta. Oh child. Yeah, you're gonna need something light. Get you some lace. I'll get some lace. And like literally get you a nice lace or something like that, a stretch lace, and get you a bodysuit underneath it, maybe in a denim blue color. I'm just saying. That could be new hotness. I'm just saying. Okay. Oh, that's why. Make this seem stupid small. Jesus, don't do that. I forgot I changed up the seam to 2. So I'm gonna go up a little bit. I know, but shit. Yeah, you don't want to glue it. It's too hot to glue. But look, you gotta find a store. Hey, you in Atlanta. You can find places that can give you something. But a lace denim look, shoot, I might have to do that for myself. Like a lace Canadian tuxedo, all denim look. I mean, I thought about going to the tour. Not really. I didn't think that hard. I'm like, that's just not in the budget. Or like, she was my first concert. So Renaissance was my first concert, like first big concert that I went to. And it also kind of was the full change of a life when you see an ending of a almost 13-year relationship due to a concert. Not due to it, but it highlighted some things. We're all good. But I'm like, I don't need that again. But meanwhile, at the same time, look, I'm up here thinking about quitting jobs and everything else. So shoot, I might as well go. She put out a concert or something like that in this trilogy of things, and I want to change up my life. Oh, you was there on Friday night? How was it? Although I liked how I came out with an application you better come out with the application. You better come out with the application. I mean, from what I've seen of it, it looked amazing. It looks amazing. Renaissance was amazing. And I love that she kind of basically now has I wouldn't call it like a framework that she does her stuff in. I will say I hate that word. We use that word. Overly use that word at work. I'm so tired of frameworks and strategy, and I'm so tired of it. Did we do the other stuff already? I think I did. Yeah, I just did it. Come on, you better go again in Vegas. I mean, I do got time to get tickets, but also, no. I got other plans. Like I said, if I'm up here thinking about leaving my job, Beyonce tickets ain't part of it. Because I'm thinking about, cashing something in to pay off every debt I own. So that those things are just not looming over my head, or paying off my house or something like that. Not YOLO. Ma'am, we're too old for YOLO. And you got to realize one thing I love about the way I live my life, there are parts of it that are real risk averse. I shop like I ain't got no sense. But when it comes down to the main parts of it, I'm real risk averse. Real risk averse. So understand that how much I'm stressing even talking about like trying to be an entrepreneur for real. So what you do is like the debt snowball. See, I don't like Dave Ramsey. I'll be 100% honest with you. But I'm also the person, I don't like goal setting. I hate goal setting is one way to get my anxiety going on 10. So I live by vibes usually, while making sure that the main stuff is taken care of. But now I'm being more strategic and having to, make some real decisions about stuff. So, all right, y'all. We have the main body of the pants done. Let's give these a try real quick. And then I will start working on the waistband so that y'all can see that as well. I want to see how these don't fit. So give me a second. I'm just right out of the child. Hold on. I forgot. Y'all can see all my business in this camera. I'm gonna turn y'all to this way. We're getting these debts off. Debt free. Okay. Well, I need to be more strategic in how I'm thinking about some of that myself. But we ain't there yet. Like what that can look like. Yeah, I got to figure that part out. Because I spend. I like to spend. All right. So without waistbands and stuff like that, I might go in and slim the legs down a little bit more. Well, technically, no. It's a nice straight leg fit. And I think when we add the belt and stuff like that, it will be nice. So yeah. And then the back pockets, that work. All right, so let me throw on my shorts. Money from my savings, and also dipped into the money I made from a book I wrote. Okay. My problem is buying patterns. I've not bought fabric in months. I need to sew some things. I quit in August. Now I'm going back to work. Look, I like paying cash. No, it's not a mini payment or a bigger amount that is going. That makes sense. I'm getting better with using cash because usually when you like, I need again, I struggle with object permanence. Cash is permanent, and I like spending if I'm using cash, I got to think about it. So I've definitely been using cash more because card almost feels unlimited, and I just will swipe. But and I swipe a lot. I shop. Shopping has been my coping mechanism since I was a kid. Um, my mom and I, that was how we bonded. A lot of times, we would go shopping daily, every day. All right. So what I'm about to do is we're going to start working on the waistband real quick. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and fold up 5/8 of an inch of the unnotched edge. So let me press that in place real fast. As I finish telling y'all this story. So yeah, me and my mom would go shopping about basically about every day. The older Beerman is I was a 6-year-old with leather coats and everything like that. And that's what I just thought you did. And she stopped, kind of stopped cold turkey without bringing me in on the process. And yeah, I still shop. And it becomes I get a dopamine high out of the spend. So sometimes it's less about the object and more about me spending on said object. So, which is not healthy. And the idea of selling some of these objects also goes ahead and takes away my dopamine. Hence, why when I buy machines and stuff like that, I usually give away more than I actually sell them, because the giveaway also provides a hit of dopamine for me. That's how my brain works. So yeah. So again, some work that I need to work on. Okay. So now I don't do Apple Pay or card because I will spend more. So I need to get better with cash and stuff like that. Or even even the apps, a lot of the apps and stuff like that, I use my PayPal. And I'll be thinking and then you'd be like, what did I buy? Currently, somehow or another, my when I signed up for Clear, it did not fully work. So I am currently waiting for them to replace my debit card because my they tried to charge me $200 for Clear, and I'm like, no, you're not. Nope. And especially when I thought I had canceled them all. So, and it was at 3 or something in the morning. So I'm currently in need of a new debit card, which actually works perfectly because I did not need it. I'm like, nope, we're good. Hopefully it'll come this week. So we're gonna go ahead and sew up this inner part of the waistband, back part. Especially when if you could teach me how to do that, I would love to learn. It seems like I look at it, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Honestly, that's how I'll be looking at it. So, let me press my waistband seam open. Like that. All right. Please should know just some people, um, some people spread reckless and then go open afterpay client accounts. I mean, it is, but I do that too. And look, I mostly now use after like paying for. It makes it easy, and I will use that before I use something else. A lot of the glasses I buy, even with my health savings account, that's how I do it. I'll pay for something in a minute. But yeah. So I'm really definitely thinking about paying off things and just being able to have the room to live freely. It's taken me 5 years to fully understand what the hell look is going on in a lot of stock trading groups. Please, because I'll be looking at that, I'm like, what the hell? And they be talking about it and this, that, and I'm like, what is this? Yeah, I don't get it. And or crypto, like I have my niece and stuff like that is into crypto and be telling me like, yeah, you should buy this. I'm like, girl, do you not know who I am? And not that this is not my ministry. As much as I would love it to be, like, so I need to, but even though I know you can also use, like, people are using ChatGPT and AI to help in this process. And that might be something I'm looking into as well. I don't know yet. Okay. So I'm gonna pin this waistband on. So that at least y'all can see, y'all can get a look of what it's gonna give. Again, I do not have all the finishing pieces, but y'all at least get a look of what it's giving. Ooh. Not the ball of the pin fell off. What time is it? Okay. We're not making bad time this evening. Almost done here. So you do. Oh, Honor, you got to tell me how you do that, then, because that sounds like something I need to do. Like do my budget. Like put in my bills or let have access to my ledgers and stuff like that. Like this is how much I'm spending. This is how much. Like I can't tell you how. Look, I know once the main stuff goes out, we just be going by vibes. Like I have a certain account that gets all of my main bills from, and then the rest goes into like it's actually the larger account, but that's all of my like credit cards and stuff like that. So all of the household stuff comes out of one account and I have that set on auto pay. So like part of my check goes in, those bills just come out. And I have a card for it. I don't use that card. But everything else, I'm like, ooh, we just be living footloose and fancy free sometimes. All right, so and pay statements in the debit for you. It tells you what bills. Oh, you got. How did you like? Do you use a certain prompt or something? Let me know, or I'll message you. Because yes, because that would probably make things so much easier. Yep, I do. So, I have a few high yield savings accounts. And I have to do set it and forget it savings because otherwise I'll spend it. So I just let it pull it out for me. Let you know which that's the type of purse. Come on. It better give you everything that you need. So somehow or another, I don't play too close to the sun and done unthreaded my machine. So I'll thread this up again. What's also great about this machine is, of course, it is let me see, which way does it go? There it is. This machine also has automatic threading. Well, not auto, like, has a needle threader, which is helpful. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put on my waistband. What is this? There we go. Okay. That not coming on evenly like that. There we go. And we'll just tell it what you need, what you want or need, or your goals. Okay. And you just upload the different files that you have. Okay. Shoot. Now, I appreciate that idea, and probably I will do that when I get off of here this evening. I need to make sure I got money so I can keep getting my herd in. And because look, we break for that. Honestly, I don't mind the idea like of slowing down my sewing machine purchasing. Again, so this one was gifted to me. But even like my vintage ones, there's like one or two more that I want that I would like break for. But other than that, I'm good. Told me I was spending too much on toys for my daughter. Also helped me see how I was racking up unnecessary fees on different things. Really, he read me for filth. I was wasting money. I saw an immediate change the first week and lots more spending cash. And then, oh, come on. Okay. Then I'm definitely going to let it analyze my stuff. Because anyway, I need to get my credit utilization under control. Because I'll show enough, like I pay my credits and stuff like that, but I will show enough use it and have a good time with it. So hence why I'm like, willing to pay down everything and like cut up cards. That's where I'm at right now. The idea of that. And I keep on saying that and trying that, and I will pay stuff down and then rack it right back up. So make sure that I am getting right in here correct. It just feels a little lumpy. There we go. 30 down under 30%. And one. Come on. Yep. Like if I even just did that, that would be a many ways game changer for me. Raise my limit to say, look, you better say I see you, Satan, because look, I don't need y'all to raise nothing. All right, so this is that. What we're going to do now is we're going to just do this on either side. We're going to fold it. All right, so now here's the final bit I'm doing now. So what I'm going to do so I'm currently just putting together the waistband and doing the little points at the waistband. And sometimes what is easier to do is go ahead and sew down one side of the waistband. So like this on one side, and just realign it. See where it matches. Let's go back right there. All the way down. Okay. And then back up where you need to back up. And turn it. And this is why I like using a seam guide. Helps to make sure everything lines up correctly. And then like this. Problem before, budgets were too aggressive, and I told chat, please let me breathe and enjoy my labor. I'm not buying beans for weeks. Look, yes. Like it has to be something that is like sustainable. It does not feel like I am living like on meager. And that's like honestly, when my mama stopped like shopping the way she shopped, that's what it felt like. It felt like I was like it felt like punishment and I ain't do nothing. And so I bucked against it. And to the point like as a teen and stuff like that, I would purchase stuff and have it sent to other places. Like once I had my own money and stuff like that, yeah. So the way, like, I be talking about how I done bought shoe options and stuff like that for Atlanta and stuff like that. I've been doing that since like high school and college. But I'm also like, the reason I own a house is because my mama told me that I could not buy one. She said I was too broke. Like I didn't have a pot to piss in the window, throw it out, or something about a house. Like I believed in myself when nobody else did. She was pissed when I did it too. But we talked about how I'm gonna lose it or, they're going foreclosure or something like that. Here I am 15 years later. And shoot, ain't I grateful? Okay. My mom is controlling. My mom is a very controlling person. Love her. But yeah, we have a special relationship sometimes. Okay. So let me give this a press, and then I'll show y'all what this looks like. We speak true. I love my mama. I swear I do. So I'm just pressing this, pressing the waistband over top of the line of stitching. Let y'all can get a look at what it's gonna look like when I'm finished with it. All right, so we're going to basically try on the pants again. Oh, I know that the LA market is atrocious. I could not even imagine. But I bought at the right time when the houses were still cheap. And I could not imagine what people are paying them rent. So, all right, y'all. So basically, the main part of the pants are done. Now what would happen is that I will put a little bit of there goes a buckle clasp here, where the buckle then goes into here. This gets either grommets or eyelets so that I can do the belt part, but I will show y'all what this part looks like. Hopefully y'all don't see too much. I have on cute draws, so even if y'all do, it is what it is. So we're just gonna tuck in the shirt. Y'all can see everything. I know my mama. That's again, I love her. But yeah, she's special. She knows it. So I have them up real high right now. And this is without any pins holding it together. So fix our pockets, both sides. Look, if I did, I've been thinking about it. Turn it into an only seams or something like that. Okay. So I'm about to put y'all here fast, and I'll back up. Hopefully y'all be able to see. Pants. Nope, y'all can't see shit. Hold on. There we go. And I will move. Focus just on. Turn that cam off. Go to this cam. This cam. There we go. Okay. So yeah. We got a little stool here now. So y'all can see how it looks like at the hem. So of course they need a good press fully, but honestly they're really comfortable out of this stretch knit or stretch woven. And then once they add the belt to it, I think, child, once you have to have so much stuff in here. This is what happens when you move quickly without a lot of rhyme or reason. So yeah. And back pockets. So and then also I need to press the side seams. So yeah. There we go. So again, we'll put a buckle, and I have the buckles that I have are like a smoke pewter, and I'll put some belt little holes here, and I'm going to do that on my buttonhole machine, and I'll probably in a white thread to match everything else. But I think once I give it a good press, a good press and everything like that, we will be in business. So it is now 9:38. So in 2.5 hours, basically, you saw me make a pair of pants. And again, here is the pants pattern that we used. And then voila. So yes, this is my last KnowMe pattern. This is not pattern KnowMe 2013 for the built-in belt pants with a straight leg. Could easily be flared out or anything like that. I did this in a stretch denim. You can also do it in like a linen or some type of other woven fabric. Great for any type of weather or season, and just gives a little extra pop of flair for a pair of men's pants. So that's all I got for y'all. Again, I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers who are in the chat, in the live, and everything like that, who have been following. We love you. We support you. We thank you for all that you do, all that you nurture, all that you offer. Again, for the natural mothers to those who have claimed children as their own, both juvenile as well as youth or as adults. Because y'all be collective, and I appreciate it, because I've been one of those who have been collected as needed, and who able to provide the encouragement, the nurturing that people need that you might not get it from other ways. So again, I honor you and I thank you. As especially this past weekend, as we saw one of those mothers who was always encouraging be placed to rest in the land of the ancestors, Miss Tata, who we do continue to honor. But know that we appreciate her service. We appreciate her love, her spirit, as it now is on the greater plane. And we know, like, I'm a believer that after a year, like, you have to give the ancestor a year to realize that they are no longer on this world. But after that year, you can celebrate them because they're advocating for you up above. in the ear of the Father. So um, we are excited for what is to come and how she is able to be there not only for her sewing family but for her natural family as well. That's all I got, y'all. Definitely make sure to check out Black Sewing Network and the calendar that's available on their page if you have any questions or want to see some of the upcoming stuff that will be coming this week. Until next time, y'all, I want to say thank you so much for joining me this evening. This will be live on my page. This will stay on my YouTube page. Make sure you're following me everywhere. So from YouTube to Instagram to Twitch to Facebook to TikTok, I'm Julian Creates on all platforms. Thank you so much. Love you all. Have a good night.